Gotta aim for the top like, hold up. Yeah, I can never doubt myself, I know better. All of you critics be acting like you know better. Blowing the smoke, but I know when the dust settles that I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game. When I aim for the top like this, and you're in your element with a fire like this, and they hoping you fall and they praying you miss, but it's all in the risk. God got you with the switch, you know. I'm in the zone. Give me the throne. One shot, that's all that you got. That's all that I know. I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. I'm in my element, ooh, yeah. I'm in my element, ooh.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to round 2 coverage of the Preserve Championship. We have lead card action, BigBarri commentary, and before we get into the mix, I just want to say thank you very much to our Patreon community. Your support is really what drives the show here. If you're not a part of our Patreon, please go to JomezPro.com/Patreon and sign up today.
Garrett, Gurthie, what a fire emoji right there. 13 under par, but that's not the only one we had.
It's not, but this dude's running on a bogey-free streak that covers several tournaments right now. Like, he is bogey-free this event, he's bogey-free Beaver State Fling, and he's just killing it right now. Klein, they played in the same card together. They were feeding off each other's energy, talking about that card that we mentioned in round 1. Bradley Williams, 12 under, right there. He is playing some really good disc golf lately, looking very calm. And Isaac Robson, the third member of that card that shot 48 under. The worst score on the card was James Conrad at 10 under. I mean, just absolutely insane.
Yeah, anytime you have two 100% in whatever the category is,
yeah,
that's nice.
Getting into the action, hole 1, par 4, 708 feet. We have a completely different direction of wind today in the second round. This time it's going to be more of a tailwind, so this tee shot's going to be a lot easier for these guys to get a lot of the distance that they want to set up a shorter approach across that little peninsula of water, which is out of bounds, into a very well-protected green.
All right, everybody, let's welcome up our lead card today. First up on the box from Gainesville, Florida, welcome Garrett Gurthie.
Couldn't stop talking about it for a long time with the way he was playing in Portland Open, but man, he has found his putt, and when Garrett Gurthie finds his putt, he's #1 threat in the field. One of the best throwers you'll ever see, smoothest player, not just for the big distance shot, which you guys all know him for, but the smooth, controlled rock and putter shots are up there as top class as well.
Next up from Wyoming, Michigan, let's hear it for Kyle Klein.
I played pretty well here my first time here, qualified for USDGC, and I just kind of went from there. Then I realized that there's nothing I really can't do against all these professionals. For my standards, I've had a pretty lackluster season so far. I mean, I've won an A tier in Colorado. I think I got a top 5 at the Silver Series, but other than that, I haven't placed inside the top 10 at all on the Pro Tour. I'm happy to get my name out there this week and find myself in the lead. Got to keep, stay in my groove. I mean, I found a groove yesterday. I was kind of in a flow state. It's like I was out there and it felt like there was nothing I couldn't do. I was slightly out of position on some shots that I hadn't been in practice, and I was able to execute the shots I wasn't comfortable with. So I knew if those were working, other things were going to follow. So if I just kind of keep that mindset and keep that positivity going forward, I should have a good chance at being up there at the end this week.
Kyle Klein, always a player that you have to keep your eyes on. He has got incredible form, and that putt's on as well. I mean, all these guys, when the putt's on, top threat.
He always reminds me of Simon when he first came on tour. Same body build,
Totally.
Same kind of style.
He fits right in with the Crush Boys.
Absolutely. Cooler shoes.
From Austin, Texas, make some noise for Bradley Williams.
Well, get ready to see some buttery smooth shots today.
Yep. Not just from Bradley Williams, who's obviously one of the smoothest players we've ever seen, but man, we got a lot of smooth on this card today. Boy, that is a smooth delivery. This is heading left. Needs to get down. I think he's going to like that.
And from Lawrenceville, Georgia, welcome to the tee, Isaac Robinson.
Isaac was really wowing us at the Portland Open with his quick delivery on his putts, and yet just not taking any time. He was still delivering accurate putt after accurate putt. Just a very straightforward player who just doesn't need to take time on his throws. He just knows what he's going to do, and he steps up and does it. What do you have to say about that Isaac Robinson delivery as he parks the first hole?
It's good form. I mean, he gets that disc out there, times it well with his footwork, and like you said, he doesn't take much time, but when that timing's on, man, no other place that thing can go but right under the bucket. Talk about right under the bucket.
Yeah, that is very controlled.
Probably going to have a little more heat on it, so he'll land a bit shorter. Gets through, though, with a little action, and that's a 20-foot headwind putt to start off the round for a double G.
And these hyzer shots, we're trying to push long with that left to right tailwind that these players have on their approaches. Kyle noticed that with the first three, and he probably made a over adjustment, coming up a bit short, but leaving him on the tailwind side. And he delivers a strike.
Very good start.
Yeah, we've talked about this many times. Making a putt like that on the first hole is a great way to get things going, and a nice putt for Garrett as well. Other two players are in the bullseye and will have tap-ins to start their round.
Always nice to have a little snack when you're tapping in some gimmies. Stress-free.
And a star frame to start our card off today. Much different with the wind condition going from a headwind to a tailwind. We obviously saw a little bit of struggles on our feature card round one, but man, this card showing why they are where they are. Talk us through hole 2, Paul.
Yeah, it's just a little par 3, 318 feet. Obviously, you got to make the double mando there. That puts a little stress on the shot, but if you hit the gap, par is going to be pretty easy. Put a little anhyzer on it, not too much, because you have a left to right wind that's going to push it kind of straight, kind of like double G's doing right here.
As long as it's got the nice nose angle, which it does, can't nestle it much better than that.
Kyle likes to put a nice little ante on this right away. Doesn't get it turned over enough. Through the mando, though.
And even if he had thrown it down the right gap, which he did miss, he didn't have the right nose angle, and that was going to come up short regardless.
This isn't going to be short.
Oh, no. That is another thing of beauty for Bradley.
What do you think that was, Mako 3?
I don't know. By the time this is shown, they're gonna have the disc graphics up on the screen, but we don't quite have that.
Pretty sure it
luxury.
was, so I'm gonna say it was, and I'll stick to my guns. That's gonna be a little bit short. I remember watching the Portland Open, and that guy was making them from that distance.
Yeah, I wouldn't be the least bit surprised to see him make a couple of those this round. If he needs to, and I think he does need to here on the first hole. Wow. Very good effort. Just waiting for that thing to put the parachute and just swing left, just barely past the basket when it did that.
Good putt there. What is he munching on?
Birdies?
Chicken.
Little chicken. Little chicklets.
All right, double G. Yes, sir. Great start. I mean, I feel like that's, if you can get 1, 2, and 3 in a row,
Wow.
you're off for the races.
And they're all very gettable. I mean, 2 is daunting, don't get me wrong. It is a gap, and especially when there's a wind like there was in round 2, that gap gets a lot smaller, and all the any air in your throw is magnified tenfold into that headwind. But very good pickups, like you said, for Double G and Brad. Looking at hole 3, 408-foot shot that will be thrown into the headwind this time. You have the tree line on the right side and the OB path left, and a little shelf just left of the basket. Garrett's going T-bird, and this needs to stay straight and putting the brakes on right before the out-of-bounds line.
I can't help but think of somebody with his power that this is an awkward distance at 408 feet.
Yeah.
He's definitely going to be stuck in between mid-range and that fairway driver.
Brad getting some nice turn and a little hyzer back, and oh yeah. Oh, this guy is dialed in right now, folks. That's that dream start scenario you're talking about.
Yeah. You know, one thing to notice about Brad throughout this round, he plays his best golf as Kyle. Yanks it a little bit right there. Looked like it had the right weight, but just a little bit too far right there. But Brad likes to land the disc soft. When he's doing that, he's going to be very accurate.
Isaac, this looks good. Is it going to be left enough to stay on the green? It's going to hold on. Beautiful. I should say right enough to stay on the green.
Wouldn't you say Brad's probably the best at that, though, just landing with no energy?
His intention is to get the disc to match the slope, whatever that is. So on a shot like this, he wants to land it flat, but if it's on a slope, he's trying to match that slope, and he's one of the best at being able to match those angles. Conservative effort for Garrett. And Brad going through his routine and having another short cleanup putt for birdie. But back to Garrett's dilemma with the distance, I think that if the wind is calm, it's a no-brainer mid-range. But with this headwind, I think you're right. I think that it's got to be a slow fairway driver. Like he went with the T-bird. I think that's the right disc selection. But he has to back off so much because you just really can't trust the mid-range into this type of headwind.
Right.
There's so many people out there thinking 408 feet.
Well, that's going to be
back off.
that's going to be a dilemma for a lot of these guys on the pro tour. Now throwing, that big distance, 500, 600 foot. That mid-range is a big-time tool on those 400-foot shots, and when you can't use it, it's probably something you're not used to, and then it gets a little uncomfortable.
Hole 4 is a par 4, 746 feet. The landing zone is very narrow, and if you don't hit it, you are going to be scrambling to get back to the fairway. Once you land in a good spot, though, you do have a low ceiling, tight tunnel to the basket. This is a bonus birdie if there was one on the course.
Absolutely. I think we got to get over the notion that 400 feet is very far anymore.
Yeah.
500's the new 400,
Right.
especially on this tour.
There's a famous hole in Charlotte, or a very good hole in Charlotte that's 1,047 feet. And Stan McDaniel, the course designer, said that all pros should be able to throw accurately 350 feet 3 times in a row and have a look at a birdie on a par 5. And that range now is upwards of 450 to 500. Yes. The game's come a long way. As Garrett skies one, and this is going to have too much nose up, and it's going to stall back towards the gallery.
And there is an out-of-bounds line over there. Looks like he stays in.
There is an out-of-bounds line over there?
There is, yeah, and it's off the water a bit.
Okay. So it's not the high grass, but it is off the water.
Right, basically where the spectators are all standing, right past them. Just
Okay.
right past them is the out-of-bounds line.
You really have to mess up to go there, I feel
Yes.
like. And Kyle has outdriven the landing zone significantly. He's going to have some interesting choices.
And scared some little girls there. Gotta watch out. These discs come up fast.
Oh my goodness.
So that's so tough. Not only does he have tough footing, and
Yeah.
that gap that he's throwing through with the high grass and that tree limb
Tiny.
is super tight. So just to get through there was pretty good. Brad with the first mistake of the round.
And that's going to be a very difficult 270-foot approach to try to save the par. Kyle just playing the hyzer through the gap and navigates his way into the middle, and that should be an easy routine up and down for the par.
Yeah, with really an outside look there. That's right at circle 2 edge, I bet.
And Isaac pulling this one pretty bad to the right.
Making up his own gap there, or was that intentional, or was he...
Hard to tell.
Yeah.
Too smooth.
Yeah, I think we know where this
Just
one's going.
Too smooth. Wow. What a save for Brad there. Let's see what Garrett has left. He's going forehand roller. And this is working its way to the back edge. He's going to have a long look, but my goodness, the bogey-free streak for Garrett is in danger.
Very good. Looks like it got through just enough to have an easy approach.
Kyle's outside look. Off the rim. Ooh, no routine par at all. He was trying to make a highlight reel. Garrett from out of position, and he will be dropping his first stroke in a long time on the Pro Tour.
It's got to be close to a record, if not the record, right?
Yeah, I mean, 4 full rounds plus what, well, he bogeyed the last hole of Portland Open. But yeah, 4 full rounds plus the first 3 here. I mean, that's 75 holes bogey free. It's pretty incredible.
It's pretty close to somebody's 78 holes.
Do you have 78 holes bogey free? When did you do that?
Been on tour a long time, man. No, I don't know. I think I made that all up. Hole 5, par 4, 695. I love calling this hole just because it gives you everything. Tight gap, technical, par's good, birdie's great. I mean, just absolutely great. You really just want to get off the tee. Like you were saying about Stan, this is a hole where you can throw, those real controlled shots, get a par. And
350 doesn't do you enough here. You have to go every bit of that 430.
Yes.
To find yourself in the ideal landing zone. So Brad navigates the gap beautifully, turns to the right, which is what you want. He's in a bad spot. That wasn't good enough. Oh, this is looking like a gem. It's too short.
Yeah, and that's just perfect. I mean,
it's out of the ideal landing zone, but I mean, you would take that drive every single day of the week for the rest of your life, and you'd pay a lot of money for it too.
Double G just going with the mid-range here. Oh, that's good. That is good.
Yeah, right on the road.
Interesting to see what they do from there. I mean, really, if you're going to try to go all the way at it, you're going to have to throw something super overstable on like almost a spike and hyzer angle to have the correct.
Kyle going across the fairway. That should be a lean out forehand, I would imagine. And look at this. Bradley going overhand with a thumber. Not something I've seen him do too often, especially up there in the wind.
That could be pretty bad.
Isaac, he is in a position to potentially get aggressive, having to go so high with a flippy disc in order to get the movement. And man, what a shot he has thrown there.
That was great. What is that, just outside the circle?
I think he's probably mid-circle 2 is my guess.
Okay. Still, I mean, that's
Beautiful.
as good as we've seen so far.
And Garrett getting a kick back to the middle of the fairway. He's going to be probably outside circle 2, but with a long look. And Kyle is in danger of a bogey.
So is this guy right here.
Yeah, he's not even attempting to get greedy. He's just playing back to the fairway with a flick roller and surrendering his first bogey most likely. But Brad has the touch to throw these in and gives it a good effort.
I love that. I mean, just the wherewithal to pitch it out to the center and, bogey really is a par on this hole.
Yep.
They're just throwing some nice angles at it, aren't they?
Totally. Yeah, Garrett not really having a good effort or a good chance to run the birdie. Kyle saves the par. A beautiful putt from 50 feet. Keeping it on that right side chain, knowing the disc would hyzer eventually. That's something that Kyle does so well. He leads the disc out towards the right side edge and has great weight to allow the disc to hyzer back in at the right time. And off the top is Isaac.
Good little run. Could have dropped. This one's definitely going to drop.
Yeah. See that flag is ripping tail for Isaac as he makes that one. And Bradley Williams will take his first bogey of the round. But still, that's the start you're looking for. 2 under through 5 is kind of around that number that you're circling. You want to be under par. 2 under through 5 is just fine. As we move on to hole 6, I kicked that rock today to make sure it was real. It's indeed real, Paul. Don't worry about that rock being fake anymore. It's 100% authentic.
It's just like too beautiful to be to be real,
It is, man. That's kind of how this course plays. Hole 6 is a par 3, 390 feet straight ahead.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I do want to give a quick shout out to Alden Harris, Mason Ford, Jared Stoll, and Gavin Rathbun, the only 4 birdies on the hardest hole of the course, which was hole 5.
Stoll definitely went over the top.
I saw his drive, actually. He threw a forehand that may have made it to the corner. I mean, but yeah, second shot, probably going over the top. Garrett holding on and giving it a bit of a run. Very well thrown.
Yeah, not as technical as it was yesterday with it being the different wind direction. I think that's a helping wind on this one.
In this part of the course, at least with these trees and the foliage around it, it really felt calm in this area. As Brad uses all the fairway to bend it from right to left, or left to right, I should say.
I mean, he hits a tree, but it was like so soft.
Just so soft. Can Kyle go back to back? Oh, another good effort. Huge putt effort on 4, a long make on 5, and another long attempt on 6 that just comes a bit short. And to bounce back for Bradley, that brings him back to 3 under.
Pulls it a little bit to the right, obviously. Doesn't get the nice catch. That was one of those 75-30.
Yeah, he'd like to have it back for sure. Kyle having to save the par after the roll away off the cage, but maintains composure and delivers a good par putt.
What I mean by that is 30% of the time something that far right will stay.
Okay, you're saying 30, 70. Yeah, Yeah, I agree with you. He knew that was not
Exactly. Sometimes you get away with it. These catch nice on that right side, especially high for the most part. But a little lower, it's definitely nail biter.
Yeah, if you're a hyzer putter, if you're a right-handed hyzer putter, think of the heat map of the basket from the low left to the high right. If it's low right, it's usually going to push out. But high right to low left is the sweet spot all the way through the chains. Hole 7, par 5, 1,111 feet. Bombs away on this tee shot. Pretty decent wind with the left to right crosswind, keeping players a little bit safer away from the water, setting up a big second shot as well.
Yeah, anytime you don't have to worry about that wind getting underneath the disc and pushing you left, you're loving life, especially on a 1,100
Garrett. That is
footer.
just too easy of a hyzer to go 500 feet. There's just zero stress in that shot for Garrett.
Decent.
I would even say really good, but doesn't look as exciting following double G.
Yeah, just don't know if his intention was to swing it back. That's the only reason I say that, yeah.
Yeah, he held it over right for the entire flight. But he's in the short stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And
Great.
so is Isaac.
Good position.
That's what this tee shot's just really about position. You just want to put yourself in the short grass so you can make the attack on your second. Kyle getting a little bit of flip, a good amount of distance, and is that going to hang on? It is on the edge of the high grass. That will be just fine. Bradley lining up a roller for the second. This is not what he was looking for.
No. I'm wondering if from there he has a similar shot, maybe be able to get up there. Possibly. That's more what you're looking for.
Yeah, and that I don't think he is in that high grass. That is a bit of an optical illusion. That high grass is just a strip. Garrett going big. Is he going to get past that tree bunker, or is he going to be on the right side of it? Either way, he should be fine with the distance achieved in 2.
Yeah, he liked it. Whoa, not enough. Hopefully that sits. Looks like Brad is going with that same disc, so we're gonna see sky roller here. Everything has to work here. Oh, and it doesn't.
Don't go behind that. It's the only thing that's really in the way.
Looks good to me.
Yeah.
That's tough putt though. That is those limbs are hanging pretty low.
And not only that, your feet are going to be in a very uncomfortable position on that side hill.
Going Anheuser, does this have enough Anheuser?
I believe it does, Paul. He's right up there near that pipe that kind of wraps around the back side of the green.
Also an awkward putt, even though it's a short distance. Gonna have to pay full attention to that one.
If you're not nestled like Garrett is on this hole, everything is awkward just because the slope is so severe. And Brad fortunately fought through the bunker, giving himself an opportunity to lay it underneath. Not exactly enthused with the result, but he should be just fine. That's a good putt.
Yeah, no problems there. Looked like those limbs were lower than they were, maybe from our camera angle, or he just went right through them. No.
Isaac.
I feel like a lot of putts go in exactly like that from that position.
Totally. It's hard to give a good, full, typical send putt.
Yeah, because you don't have the legs under you, like you said, so you're doing it all arm, and then when your body's not involved, kind of guiding that arm up.
You're kind of just willing it in there.
Yeah, gets a little sketchy. Garrett with a beautifully played hole. Hole 8 has been actually getting a little bit of, what is it, the other island hole? Help me out, what hole is that?
10?
Yeah, they're kind of in a little battle for which one's like the crowd favorite. I like it.
They're both beautiful, and definitely each one stands alone as its own type of signature hole. This one certainly has the most beautiful water carry that we really have in our sport.
Yeah, you'll just see people camped out at this one and the other island hole all day.
It's just one of them is just begging to get aced.
Absolutely.
It's just begging for it. It's right there. Just somebody ace it.
Oh, and you're going to be able to hear it across all of Minnesota right there. Now.
You even said it right. You said Minnesota.
I know, I gave it a little...
Was that intentional?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Been working on it, man.
Isaac's going to have some trees to concern himself with. He's going to be only about 28 feet away, but it's not going to be an easy putt. We have that right to left crosswind, and you're going to see 3 players now consecutively go left of the basket. That left side is blocked off with a lot of those trees.
Yeah, just like we were saying yesterday, that tree hanging out over the right, you really can't go at it as Brad has early released this one.
This is way left.
Yeah.
Not making the adjustment.
But hanging it out wide isn't an option, especially with this right to left crosswind. So you're seeing him go left.
It was a right to left crosswind.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it left to right? It was kind of swirling. Look at this little attempt.
Very good. He's wanting a bird there, but...
Yeah. Practice your little trick shots at home, folks.
And your trick putts.
And your trick putts as well. But those little short flick rollers do come in handy every once in a while, and if you don't practice it, you're going to be upset when you get in a situation and you don't have anything for it. As Isaac delivers a beautiful putt for the birdie. This putt to get Garrett to 17 under and the outright lead once again.
Good par save. No aces, couple birds, couple pars. What do we got here?
Well, we have got 1,285 feet of par 5 here, Paul. Hole 9. This shot is all about getting 2 bomb shots, and you're looking to get somewhere past this tree on the left in 2 if you have a big arm. But don't go in this little creek here that you see that is out of bounds. But by bringing the basket up 220 feet and on this side hill, Kale is asking for players to try to throw one in for the big eagle. And Garrett has
smoked. Oh my goodness! Yeah. That's the farthest I've seen.
Yeah, that's
by 100 feet.
640 feet, I believe UDISC said it was.
That's annoying.
Just cutting off half the hole with one shot.
Is he gonna go for it?
Well, he just threw literally half the distance in one shot.
I know. He's gonna have to go mid-range layup.
Or go for it. We'll see. I mean, both of these last two shots have been beautiful.
And this one, is this gonna get to the tree?
Yeah, that was the tree that Garrett was still in the air on the Anheuser
Right.
before the disc landed and skipped. And Kyle throws very far. If you haven't been to a Disc Golf Pro Tour event, you know, I'm not saying avoid going to one in the woods because it's beautiful watching these players navigate the shots in the woods. But if you can come to one of these open style courses and witness a player like Garrett Gurthie throw a shot like that in person, it's going to blow your mind.
It really will. You know what is mind-blowing to me? After we see, okay, little Anheuser, he'll be in position there. Is Bradley was just hit the angle so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
And he
Nestled
threw
to
that
the tree.
500 feet.
Yep.
Awkward little spot there, maybe.
Kyle getting good turn. Good flight. Really good shot.
Yeah, he'll have 350.
Yeah, somewhere around that because he's nearing that tree. So yeah, that should be within. Brad really trusting that he's not going to throw OB with the roller, and if this thing starts turning right, yeah, he's going to be fine.
That's extremely good.
That is distance and control.
Now he's gonna have putter in.
And Garrett 200 feet ahead of where we just saw those other throws coming from.
He is going.
Oh, he's going. Oh, wow.
No.
And Garrett has just thrown one of the only shanks I think I've ever seen him throw. That is just so rare to see him mess up on that type of shot.
Exactly, yeah.
Close his eyes and throw that shot. A bit surprising. It's going to be really dependent on where that went, because if it goes deep or if he's in the creek, oh my gosh, Isaac just facing the approach. Beautiful. Garrett could be in trouble.
Overstable putter. That's just crazy to me. Overstable
That's
putter
awesome.
in. Bradley throw him last year.
So where is Garrett?
Yeah, I had a feeling that was like out of bounds over there.
It's just that creek, and let's see. He's found it. He's
Wide open.
wide open. He's
Pin-
across the creek.
Pin high.
Nothing in the way.
Still trying to get
Oh
the
my
eagle.
gosh. Okay, so he really got away with one there. Fortune smiles upon our leader as Bradley is the first in for the birdie. But that just is going to be a star frame. There's just no way around it. We got basically
very impressive star frame.
bullseye star frame, essentially, outside of Bradley's 15-foot tap in.
And this is like we were saying again, 400, 400, 480, and you got yourself a nice little bird.
Or you could do what Garrett did, 640,
Well,
300 foot sideways, and then
Garrett
you know.
and about 5 other people can do what Garrett did.
So we've got bookend star frames here for our lead group on the front 9, and we are halfway through the event, Paul.
Yeah, and Garrett's holding on strong. I mean, 5 under on that front 9, very solid. It wasn't the 7 that we saw yesterday.
With a bogey as well.
Yeah, which was a little surprising. I thought the front 9 was playing a little bit easier today than the first round, but I mean, that's tournament golf. You never, ever, never know.
Well, you can't get into a rhythm really with the wind switching up 180 degrees on these players. So let's see how they handle the back 9 with different wind conditions, and the tournament also narrowing down. Got guys chasing, some exciting action there. Got to give a shout out real quick to Calvin Heimberg, who threw in an eagle from 280 feet on the par 5 ninth. There's been a lot of good action here on the front 9. and through the front half of this tournament. Come back for the second half of the round and the Preserve Championship. We'll see you.
Hit that like and subscribe.
Oh, yeah. Do that too.
Then you'll know exactly when it's time.